Hello, field instructors. Welcome back to your training on evaluations or forms. We use the word interchangeably. In eMedley, it will be labeled as evaluations. So let's get started. This is your desktop, so hopefully you can log in real quick to eMedley. You should have set up your shortcuts there called quick links to My Evaluations. Or if you're a traditionalist, you can go to the top menu, click on evaluations. It'll drop down this menu. You can click on My Evaluations, which is the same as the shortcut, and you enter into the evaluations homepage. Now, the evaluations homepage lists all of the evaluations that you need to accomplish as a field instructor. So you'll need to fill those out. In the upper left-hand side, you'll see that this is the Available tab. Those are the ones that you need to go into and do something with, typically fill them out. Usually the only forms that you as field instructors need to fill out are the fall student evaluations and the spring evaluations. There is one more smaller form that just needs a signature, electronic signature, and that is the roles and expectations forms, just to have you read through and agree to the responsibilities and roles you have as a field instructor for this upcoming year. But again, it's just something you review, enter your agency name, your name, and then the date, and click submit, and that will fill out that form. The much larger forms are these evaluation forms. So what you'll do is you'll go ahead and highlight the form that you want to fill out by clicking on it, or over to the left-hand side, you'll see that checkbox. Go ahead and check that, and you'll want to make sure you have the right student that you're filling it out for, or that you're filling it out paying attention to the one that you want to evaluate. As you can see here on this screen, this particular mock field instructor has multiple students, has 3 students actually, has Charlie Brown and Lucy Van Pelt and Nate Hadley. So make sure that you're selecting the right one. You'll go to the right-hand side, click Fill Out Evaluation. That will let you into that particular form. As you can see here, this is the fall student semester evaluation. Usually this will appear around mid to the end of November. That's when you will need to fill this out. Please read through the instructions for this particular form and evaluation. As you read through them, you'll go through each one. You'll see that the required fields have a little red star next to the number of the question. You'll also be required to select a particular level of competency that you are rating the students by, whether that's not yet competent, emerging competency, competent, or highly competent. Now, in the fall semester, typically students are usually around the emerging competency. They're learning some skills, they're beginning to demonstrate those skills. However, usually they're not competent at that point or highly competent. Some are, some aren't. So use your best judgment. We often talk to students that it is okay that during the fall semester that they are at emerging competency. That's to be expected. By the end of spring semester, though, they definitely should achieve competency. If they're not at a competent level, those discussions need to be had around the mid-semester or early on in the spring semester to make sure they can achieve competency by the end of the academic year. All right, so let's say that you marked emerging competency here on question 3. What you'll do is then enter some comments. These are required as well. This doesn't need to be the great novel. Please enter some basic comments about the student's demonstration of competency 1 regarding ethical and professional behavior. That helps provide some feedback to the student. The field faculty also is allowed to read these to better understand how the student performed. All right, there is a sidebar off to the right-hand side. This is a little feature that eMedley has that will allow you which questions that you need to still answer. It's kind of nice for those who like to double check if they missed a field. You do not have to open the side window. It's just optional. All right, now let's go. Let's imagine that you've scrolled through all of the form, you've entered all the free text fields. Now you come to the bottom of the student evaluation form. This is a grid rubric for evaluating the student's professional use of self and professionalism. Please read through all of the statements on the left-hand side, and then here on the grid, you'll need to mark either needs improvement, meets expectations, or exceeds expectations. If there are any needs improvement, please have a conversation with the student and the field faculty so that the student can receive some feedback and make corrections, and so that the field faculty is aware that there are possibly some issues that may need to be addressed. Finally, in the bottom field, you will see question number 22. Please enter some final comments about the student's performance in the practicum. This is a great opportunity to both point out some strengths and praise, as well as some possible feedback for them, as they are anxious to see what you've written and how you've evaluated them. Once you've done that, this is a picture of the very bottom of the screen. You will go ahead and hit the submit button there. That will then send it off to both the field faculty to review, as well as the student to review and read through. If for some reason you need to step away from this evaluation, this new system then allows us to easily save a draft and come back. This is optional. You do not need to do it. You do not need to press save unless you're leaving your computer. If you've finished entering all your answers into the form and you're done, go ahead and press submit. All right. One of the great features about eMedley this year is that you will be notified by email as the students complete their evaluations. Also, you will be notified by email as you need to do evaluations. So it's a pretty neat system that will keep you up to date and notified of those things that you need to do. So for example, I'm going to show you what it looks like to be notified by email over a computer. So this is a snapshot of my Gmail account. This is what it should look like on your end. At least similar. It'll show you received an email from eMedley. Make sure it's a trusted sender. What you'll do is go ahead and click on that email. It should look something like this. It'll tell you that you have an evaluation to fill out for your particular student. As you can see there, it's mock student Nate Hadley. Again, just to reiterate, make sure that you're filling out the correct evaluation for the correct student, or at least you have that correct student in mind as you fill out the evaluation form. You can go ahead and click on the link in the email. That should immediately drop you into eMedley to complete the evaluation. You can go ahead and go through, fill out your evaluation, and at the very end, click submit. Now, notified by email, this is what it should look like. You'll receive an email. Go ahead and click on that email. That will open up then a notification saying that you have a fall semester student evaluation to fill out for mock student Nate Hadley. Make sure it's the correct name once again. Click fill out evaluation. This then should take you into eMedley. Sometimes it will bring up this screen on your phone asking which browser you want to use. Select the browser that you feel most comfortable with or most frequently use. It should let you into the form to fill out over your phone or tablet. Once you're done, this is actually what the form looks like once you're into the form through either the email or the phone. Once you're done with it, go ahead and click submit either on your desktop or submit on your phone. And that will then show a completed screen indicating that you successfully submitted and completed your form. Let's return back to the evaluations home screen. This is kind of the original screen that we started out this training with. Just to show you real quick, you can return to the evaluations home screen by going to the top, clicking on evaluations, and going to the My Evaluations link. Over here, you'll see once you get to this evaluations home screen, you'll see a completed tab. That completed tab then shows you all the documents and forms that you have filled out. You'll see there that several things have been approved. That shows you that it's made its way all the way through the process. You'll also see that some are still pending by the faculty and the student to fill out. So this is a great way to just check on the status of the form that you filled out. It's great. Also, another great feature this year, as opposed to previous years, you can actually access this form and go back into it to view your responses or even change your responses, which is amazing. Go ahead and click and highlight the form. Once you do that, go over to the right-hand side, click Actions. That will open up a small little window with a couple of options to either view your responses or edit your responses. If you click Edit, it will drop you back into that form. Go ahead and go back through, make the changes that you need to, and then make sure once again you hit Submit. One last thing, returning back to the evaluations home screen, I'm just going to show you once again a different tab. This is the Upcoming tab. This lets you know the evaluations that are upcoming that you'll need to fill out for which students. This year, this system allows us to preload these evaluations, and that you as field instructors do not need to activate these forms. These will auto-populate onto this tab and onto the evaluations home screen, which is great. You don't have to do any extra work to see these forms. So if you click on the Upcoming tab, this shows everything that's going to be happening throughout the year. This is the type of form that needs to be filled out. This is the student that's going to need to be filled out for. This is the available date. So this is when it will open. This is when it closes. And if it does expire, there is a tab to let you know the forms that have expired that you can go in. You can communicate with us if we need to open those back up or send a new one, but it'll let you know if for some reason you missed a final date. Return to the dashboard home screen. Just so you know, if you're ever in one of these screens, you can always click on the upper left-hand side of the eMedley logo there. There's a little house as well, but click on that eMedley logo and it will take you back to your original dashboard. On this dashboard, just pay attention to a couple of things as you go throughout the practicum year. There may be announcements that gets pushed out by the field education team. Those will appear here. You also have notifications that will keep you actively up to date on things that you need to do, or things that are happening with the evaluations or forms or even time logs. There's actually also a to-do list on this dashboard that lets you know some of the upcoming things that you need to be aware of and keep track of regarding your responsibilities. Finally, up at the top right, you'll have your profile. If you were to click on that, you can see the badges. It has some notifications similar to the home screen here. If you click on that, open up notifications. If you were to click on that, it'll open up a screen of the notifications that you should read sure and just make sure you've acknowledged those. You can click and mark those as read, and that will clear those out. Okay, finally, receiving a completed form from a student. So one of the great features with this program, also the student management system, is that when a student completes a form, you will receive a notification on your email to be able to approve it through your email that will automatically connect with your eMedley account. So this is a great feature. This is what an email might look like. You can go ahead and look at the student's name. What is the evaluation that they completed then that you need to review and approve? You can click on that. You can click approve after you've scrolled through. Then once it's completed, it will show up as completed. The same thing here happens on your phone. You'll receive a notification that the student completed a form. You can review and approve. Then you can go ahead and approve this through the phone. And finally, it will say completed. So all the forms that the student will be filling out, you'll receive notifications on. You can easily access them over your laptop, phone, tablet. It's great. It should automatically log you in. You can read through the forms and approve those. Pretty slick system. If you're having any technical issues this year, as we might have some bugs in this new program as we are learning it together, hopefully it's smooth, it's user-friendly, and very forgiving, as I've mentioned. If you're having issues, please contact one of the following. You can start with our social work program assistant, Carmel Byrne. She's very knowledgeable in the eMedley system. She's great. If not, you can also contact me. I'm the MSW Field Director, Nate Hadley. You can contact me at that email address. Also, Our BSW Field Director, Amanda Barandi, can field questions also. Okay, field instructors, you successfully completed the eMedley evaluations training. Congratulations. Thank you for hanging in there with me. And congratulations, you've completed your eMedley training up to this point. At least the basic features that you will need to get through this practicum year successfully with your student, such as time logs and evaluations, those are your main responsibilities this year. Thank you so much on behalf of the USU Field Education team for being a field instructor, for dedicating your time and effort to our USU student education. Thanks so much. Take care.